Welcome back. It's my second podcast on November 26th, 2 days away from Thanksgiving this year. Family time's coming up. So why not have my mom on with me today? My birthday's around the corner too. We're going to talk about that, but I really hope you can handle hearing how I was born, because my mom is going to share that with us, whether I want to hear it or not, on this episode. But most importantly, we're going to hear how just absolutely responsible my parents were on the day that I was brought into this world. No sarcasm there. Also, you're not going to believe what my mother feeds her dog. You're going to feel like much less of a pet owner once you hear this story. It's all next on Don't Take Any Wooden Nickels with me, Gina Ferraro. And last week was my first episode ever, and I talked here and there about my mom. And, you know, I did my impressions of my mom, which were spot on. So I thought, you know, I'm going to bring Mom onto the podcast today, and we're going to have some fun. So say hello to Cheryl.
This is the mom, and I know I sound exactly like you portrayed me.
Mm-hmm. My favorite is, what do you want to do for your birthday?
I think that's exactly how I said it, all right? Very important. What do you want to do?
Well, my birthday is coming up, and Mom and I went to a wine tasting this past weekend, which was so much fun. It was a little winery in Versailles, right? It's just a Versailles winery.
Yes.
They have my favorite wine in the world. It is called Rodeo Red. And if you live in Ohio, you might be able to find it in stores. I know they have it everywhere in the Dayton area, but Versailles Winery, I think you can also order it online. It's a sweet wine. It's not what my mother's cultured, matured palate prefers.
Thank you. That is descriptive and accurate.
But yeah, check it out, Versailles Winery, if you get a chance. It's delicious. And thank you for taking me out, Mom.
And happy first installment of your birthday.
So you probably don't know this if you're just tuning in, but this brave woman over here had me at home. She gave birth to me at home, and I don't know that you meant to do that, but it happened.
Well, it wasn't really planned that way. I had prepared myself for that possibility, but I did not think it was going to happen.
What was supposed to happen? Were you supposed to go to a hospital or?
Yeah, we were going to a doctor that was an hour and a half away from where we lived.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was, at the time, the best natural doctor I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going to have a natural childbirth in a birthing room.
Were you going to do it like in a bathtub?
No bathtub.
Oh.
Strictly dry land.
Okay. Not a water birth planned?
No, that kind of freaks me out.
So what happened? You just woke up late, or I was like, I'm coming?
That's pretty much you. Yeah, look out. Here I come.
Oh, God.
It was late at night. Well, late in the evening, 9, 10 o'clock. And I thought, this kind of feels like labor pains. And I was already 2.5 weeks overdue.
Mm-hmm.
I figured you were just going to live in there forever because you weren't coming out. But I said to your dad, you know what? I'm going to lay on the couch and we'll just see how this progresses.
Yeah, I mean, that's what any other normal pregnant woman would say.
Right?
Yeah,
yeah.
right. Uh-huh. Oh, totally. That's what all my pregnant friends would say. Yeah, go on.
What would your pregnant friends say?
They would go to the hospital.
What? Don't you
Yeah.
want to see what's happening first?
I don't know. What is there to see?
See if it's really labor or not.
Oh, well, I don't know. I would have my bag packed. I'd be screaming like, I think it's time. Take me. I don't care if I'm wrong.
So your dad said, okay, well, I'll just lay on the floor next to the couch.
Well, was he going to catch me?
No, he was going to be there in case when I woke
came
up.
out?
In case I woke up and said, let's go.
Oh, okay.
He was going to be right there.
Okay.
Not that
This
your dad,
is getting weird.
Not that your dad ever woke up easily, but
That's true. He's a hard sleeper.
So I said, I'm just going to lay here. So he falls asleep, sound asleep, snoring, the whole 9 yards. I'm awake, and I'm thinking, oh, this is so interesting, and just feeling what my body was doing. And I felt these contractions, and I'd been through all the classes of how to breathe with each section of contractions. And I found, this set of breathing really helps me get through this. Oh yeah, that feels good. And I'm figuring it's going to be 10 hours, 12 hours, because you hear all these stories.
Right, yeah, go to the hospital, Mom. Hell.
It was an hour and a half away. I didn't want to go too soon and just have to sit there. So
right.
And I had a midwife who said she would come over and check me.
At the house?
At the house.
Okay, but she didn't.
So, well, not yet, because I didn't call her.
Oh. Oh, my God.
So I'm still feeling this out, thinking, okay, well, is this really it? So an hour goes by, and I feel a little bit stronger contractions, and I tried a different breathing technique, and it got me right through it.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, this isn't hard.
Are you going like,
yeah.
You are?
It got to that.
You weren't thinking, Jim, I think this is it. We should go, maybe.
Not yet.
Oh, my God.
So I finally get to those.
In your living room?
On my couch.
Oh, my God.
And it's 2 a.m., so I said, okay, I think this may be it. Because they weren't really, really hurting hard contractions yet, because the breathing was helping me get through them.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what the breathing is for.
Exactly.
It is.
I believe you.
It's a natural thing that your body goes through. So I nudged your dad and I said, hey, I think this is really it.
Yeah.
And your dad popped up like a firecracker.
Oh, my gosh.
He jumped up and he said, okay, all right, wait, I'll call the midwife. I'll call her right now. Da, 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 da. And he started running like the ever-ready bunny and clanging everything and called the midwife and said, okay, I think this is it. She's in the third transition or whatever it was called. And so the midwife says, okay, I have to nurse my baby and then I'll be right over.
What?
She had a nursing baby.
Okay.
So we said, okay, no problem. She didn't live far from us.
Okay.
Well, half hour goes by, no midwife. Hour goes by, no midwife. Called her up again. Hey, I think this is really happening here.
Right.
Can you get yourself over here? She goes, oh my God, I fell asleep.
This is how I came into the world, folks. I just want you to see the planning, the
finesse.
I mean, the finesse,
Yes.
the care that all parties had, obviously, even the midwife, to just fall asleep. She couldn't set an alarm. I mean, what is happening? Did she show up?
So she said, oh, okay, I got to get dressed and blah, blah, blah. So she finally shows up. Probably, it's been a couple hours now since the initial call.
Mm-hmm.
She shows up. She checks to see how dilated I am. So, how much longer we need to, before we have to go the hour-and-a-half trip.
Mm-hmm.
She checks me and she screams and she goes, oh my God, you're ready to have this baby right now.
Oh my God.
So your dad came running in the room and he says, what's the matter? And she said, she's fully dilated and she's ready to have the baby. She said, you're not going to make it an hour and a half to the doctor.
Okay.
So she said, here's your options. You're going to have to go to the emergency room.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to do everything the way they want to do it. It's not going to be a natural childbirth like you've planned for the last 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll deliver her here at home for you. I've got a nurse that can come in. And we had an EMT that would come over. I said, let's do it.
I think it's worth mentioning. So not only did my mom get the EMT and the nurse and the midwife there, but then she called all of her friends over too. And we're like, want to come watch me give birth?
Well, it was monumental.
Okay. There are still people to this day, 30 some years later, that come up to me and go, I saw you be born and it was amazing. Your little head popped out. And I was like, Mom, this is like kind of weird and gross, all wrapped up. I don't like it.
It's a magical event. I mean, wouldn't you like to see a baby being born?
Yeah, like a puppy. I mean, men weren't even allowed in the birthing suite in hospitals back in the day.
Yeah,
like
well,
my grandfather.
They were antiquated.
I don't know if I could do it. So then you had a crowd.
I did. I had a crowd. I had a number of people in your bedroom there, and they watched you come out, and it was great. You came out screaming with your umbilical cord wrapped around your neck, and
How many times?
twice.
Oh, was I blue at first?
You were a little blue at first, and we had to give you a little oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
The EMT didn't need to do anything, but the nurse was right there on the spot, and your midwife was fantastic.
Thank God.
And there you were.
Screaming, crying, and just saying hi to all my new friends.
That's it.
Right?
That's it.
All the neighbors that came in from around town.
They were our good friends.
Oh, okay. Didn't you feel exposed?
Not at all.
Really?
Something must go on in your mind, during that time that you just don't give a crap. It's
No.
like, it's nature. It's beautiful. I don't care if they're seeing everything God gave me. I didn't even think of that.
This is too much. I can't. So my birthday's kind of right around the corner. That's what this is all about. Thanks for having me.
It was truly my pleasure.
You also enjoyed pregnancy.
I loved it.
Yeah. My
I would
mom
be
loved
pregnant
it.
over and over again because
Really?
it was such, I don't know. It was a gift to me. And then you showed up.
And then I just learned how to talk. and then it was all downhill from there.
That was it.
Uh-huh.
I said,
yeah.
what the heck was I thinking? I'm kidding. I love you.
All right. So Mom and I both have golden doodles. And we have two golden doodles that are sisters from the same litter. They're both black doodles. And, so every once in a while when my mom goes out of town, I'll watch her dog or vice versa. She'll watch my dogs. But I just wanted to take a little time to talk about the way her dog eats. I knew she wouldn't be able to contain herself over there. My mom drops her dog off and has a notepad written out instructions on how to feed her dog, which, by the way, let me mention again, is a littermate sister to one of my dogs. Nothing special about her dog compared to mine. They're very similar in every way. But her dog, you have to heat up gizzards and
Chicken. Sometimes calf's liver. Sometimes.
Seriously, she gets all this gourmet. She eats better than me.
Well, sometimes she eats better than me, and I really am serious.
You know whose fault that is, right?
No.
It's yours.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking at this note. Measure out the green beans and mash them up so she doesn't have to chew if she doesn't want to. And then
At least you're doing it in the right voice that I wrote it in.
yeah, this is how I read it.
Yeah.
And then 1 chicken liver per dish. And then can you please sprinkle her protein powder across the top? Because
It's a digestive enzyme. She's got to have that.
Right. Yeah. And
She's 13. Come on.
I look at all this, I read it, and I go, oh my God. Okay. Yep, I can do it, Mom. And then she turns back around and goes, this all does need to be heated up. You are going to heat it up every time, right? She likes to eat it warm. Is that true? Did you ask her?
Yeah. Yeah, she wags her tail when I heat it up, so I figured that was her preference.
Okay. I never heated it up. She ate it all the same.
Oh, no.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm abusive to your poor dog.
That's a bit shocking.
I know. So this dog eats better than us, and we're going to transition right into how my mom eats. I offered her, I had a little dish of raspberries. And I was like, here, Mom, you want some? You know, I had like raspberries stained on my face because I've been gorging myself.
Just like when you were little.
Yep. When we would go pick raspberries. Yep. She takes 1 raspberry out of the bowl and pops it in her mouth, all like dainty like and so polite, chews with her mouth closed and just relishes in how delicious that single raspberry was. And
it was.
And I looked at her, I go, is that it? She's like, I'm full.
I don't think I said I'm full,
Okay.
but I said that was satisfying.
It means the same thing, Mom. needless to say, Mom eats light.
I do.
Like one shred of lettuce and one raspberry, and
That's because when I started dating and I would go out to dinner, like with my boyfriend, I was so self-conscious on eating. I didn't want to eat very much. I just wanted to appear like I was a real lady. And I just trained myself to eat little bits.
I never got that.
You didn't?
No. I'm so opposite for my mom. She's like 5'4", 90 pounds. I'm 5'8".
120.
Oh, 120. I'm sorry. I'm like 5'7", 5'8", like 300 pounds. So
you are not 300. You're a beautiful figured young woman.
Thanks, Mom. Now everyone's Googling what I look like right now.
Don't take any wooden nickels.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No.
All right. So in the near recent past, Mom, you came to me. Actually, she called me and she was a little bit like worried. And she said, Gina, I had a thought. And I thought, did I not teach my kids about this? I thought, oh my God.
I have these nightmares sometimes that, holy cow, I didn't tell my kids to do this.
Right. And so she goes, gosh, I wonder, in the last 30 years, did I tell my kids that they need to clean their belly buttons?
Did I really say that?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a revelation one day when I think I actually found some lint in my belly button, you know?
Oh my God.
And, I was doing the cleaning thing and I said, oh God, I don't think I taught Gina how to do this.
Needless to say, she did.
You got the lecture the next day.
No, but I mean, you had taught me as a child. I knew that.
Yes, okay.
Yes. But she'll do this. She'll call me periodically. And, did I tell you that you need to do whatever it is? This time was belly button lint.
It's important. You don't want that stuff to build up.
I have a clean belly button, Mom.
All right.
I do. I promise.
I trust you now.
It's clean. But it got me to thinking of all the little things that you did teach me along the way that have stuck with me for life.
I'm glad.
One is square your shoulders. And anytime I see young girls slouching and hunching over, it drives me up the wall.
Yes.
And I think part of that is because my mom would bop me on the back of the head if I was slouching and say, sit up straight. Square your shoulders. Be a lady.
Was I that mean? Was I really that mean? Come on.
It really stuck with me.
I did want it to stick. That's important.
Yeah. No, you weren't mean, but it worked.
It's good for your lung health and your spine health, and you just look better and feel better, right? Right.
If you're a young lady, square your shoulders and walk proud, I guess.
Yeah, it's for a young man, too, or anybody.
Yeah, it's nothing worse. I hate seeing that. Something else she would harp on us kids about was no elbows on the dinner table. She was obsessed.
I was.
With this one, okay? What would you do, though, if we put our elbows on the table?
I think I backhanded you.
Oh, God. Yeah.
No supper for you.
And that's no more soup for you. No, I don't think it was that intense.
Yeah, not like my mom used to rap me in the head with her fork. I never did that to you.
No. Oh, she always used to, like, once I got my license and once I had a part-time job, which was like 15 and a half, like right when I turned 16. And you would always get so irritated with me if I would spend my money, which, minimum wage then was like, I don't know, $4.25 or something. If I would spend my money on fast food. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, that was the worst.
Don't spend your money on fast food. Come home and eat. He would always say that. Come home and eat. And I just think that's such great advice because still to this day, I come home to eat because there's nothing like a home-cooked meal with Mom.
Did you say $4.15?
I think it was
wage?
$4.25.
$4.25. You know what minimum wage was when I started work?
What?
$1.15.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think I'd get a check for, like $20.
And did you think you were?
That was living high, sister.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. What's minimum wage now? I don't even know.
7 something.
Well, it depends. More. It depends on the state,
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
$1.15.
I know. That was in 1972.
Oh my God. So back in 1972, they didn't have Instagram.
No, they didn't.
Or the internet or anything like that. And you're kind of new to Instagram, and I talked about this in my last podcast about how you like to...
You're going to make fun of me again.
No. You're here to defend yourself now.
Thank God.
But I was talking about how you like to mom monitor.
Whoa, is that a thing?
I called it that. That's what I named it. She's a mom monitor of my Instagram, and you love doing it, don't you?
Well, when you don't call me and let me know where you are or how you've been for a week, I'm like, oh, I bet if I check her Instagram, I can see what she's been up to.
Right.
You know, is that bad?
It's not bad, but it's when you call me and you go, now, Gina, I think that this post is a little inappropriate. And the song you chose is curse words. And, you know, kids watch your story. And
That's true, Gina. You got to think about that.
Okay. And I really think you should consider deleting it.
And you did just exactly that, didn't you?
I do most times because you make me feel bad.
Okay, I've succeeded.
So what do you get out of Instagram? Just to stalk me? Is that what you use it for?
No, I don't stalk you. Like I said, when I haven't heard from you for a while, or I thought, well, wonder what Gina's up to tonight or last night, I just go to IG, baby.
Oh, my God. Okay, moving on. Okay. So the other day, Mom was over, and I was getting ready to go to the gym, and I had on these cute pants.
No!
They are so cute. They're kind of...
They really are cute.
They're kind of skin-toned, so at first glance, you're like, whoa, does she have pants on? But when I walked into the kitchen, I bent over to do something, and Mom looked at me and goes, Are you gonna put any pants on that's suitable to leave the house? Or you're not going to the gym in that, are you?
I stand by that.
What was the problem with them?
I just think they're a little too revealing. I realize this is what the girls wear at the gym.
It is.
But I just have a hard time with it.
It's a gym vibes, Mom.
I'm a mom.
You could try them on. They're really comfortable.
I'll sleep in them.
They're squat proof.
I won't leave the house.
Okay, fair enough. So, Mom, if you had to use one word to describe me, what would it be?
Fabulous.
Oh, I like it.
Absolutely. That would be one word. I have many others, though. We could go on.
Let's save them. I wanted one positive word.
How did you know it was going to be positive?
I didn't. I risked it.
You were taking a chance there.
I rolled the dice.
Yeah, you did.
Thank you for joining me today.
Oh, it's a delight.
Yes, I really appreciate it, Mom, on my second episode of Don't Take Any Wooden Nickels. Please subscribe and, take time to give a little review if you can. That would be awesome. Mom, you can review it.
I will.
Just don't give it a 1.
Oh.
Well, it's 1 through 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
5 is the best.
5 is the best.
So I should really go for the 5.
I mean, if you were being honest, what would you say it was?
4.5.
Okay, fine.
Because you had to have your mom on.
Right. Next Tuesday, I'll be reading some of my personal letters and cards that people have sent me over the years, and I'm going to compare them to things that people write on social media that really should have been put in a personalized card and mailed to whoever it is they're talking about in their captions. It drives me nuts. My mom listened to my first podcast, and she's got some critiques for me, so I'll share those with you. And we're also going to find out what really annoys me most. That's coming up next Tuesday on Don't Take Any Wooden Nickels with me, Gina Ferraro. Talk to you then.